The Los Angeles Chargers have a new general manager, a new head coach in Jim Harbaugh, and they're going to have some new players. Apart from anybody who doesn't return as a free agent, there are four big names, long-standing cornerstone players. Khalil Mack hasn't been there a long time, but he had 17 sacks last year for crying out loud. Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, all available in trade, and for good reason. The Chargers are more than $20 million over the cap. They've got to get it in line by 4 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, and they're willing to explore trading any of these guys, any of them. Now, if they can trade one or two, will they pull the other two back? I don't know. Will they release somebody if they don't get a trade offer? Somebody told me last night nobody's biting on Bosa or Mack because they've got big roster bonuses due third day of the league year.
Right.
The league knows that the Chargers are screwed, so why would we trade for guys, and we got to pay them all this money right out of the gates.
Right.
When we just cut them and we'll go sign them as free agents.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be a little bit about the dead money. What's going to happen there for the Chargers? Will they cut these guys? Joey Bosa, though, like you said, yeah, the price tag is astronomical. Right. The product on the field has not reached that level of what we've seen from when he was at his best. There's been injuries there, so I get that. Mike Williams, right? He's, 7-8 years in the NFL, coming off a pretty significant injury himself. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen's up there a little bit. So, I mean, what we're seeing here is, a new coach that we know wants his kind of guys, and he's trying to set up the regime to fit the culture of what he wants, right? I mean, we see this always. And sometimes a part of that is like, hey, the older guy that's been around with other people here and, is part of this kind of, unfulfilling culture with the Chargers the last 7, 8, 9 years. They don't want that anymore, right? But it's going to be hard. It's going to be interesting to see if they can make moves and get rid of some of these guys because I do think they're in a tough spot for sure.
If I'm a Chargers fan, I'm encouraged by this. Even though it hurts to see some of the biggest names on the team go, the message is, as you're saying, something's off with this organization. As I say all the time, quoting Rosanna Dan, and I know only 2% of you get it, but the 2% of you love it. It's always something with the Chargers. It's always something. And the guys who have been part of the It's Always Something Chargers for the longest time need to go.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I come in and I say, this is how I commence the process of attacking the day with an enthusiasm unknown to mankind. I have to attack these guys on the roster that need to go. We got to move on from some of these guys. We need a sense of a disinfecting of the organization.
Right.
Not that these guys are problems.
Yeah.
Not that they haven't been great players.
Right.
But we need to turn the page hard to this new regime, and this is a way to send that message. Even if they don't trade the guys, and even if they keep a couple of them, the fact that it's out there and hasn't been denied is a powerful message. No sacred cows except for Justin Herbert. No one is off limits except for Justin Herbert. No one is immune from potentially getting cut or traded except for Justin Herbert.
Yeah, well, they're not. Well, we know that. I mean, when Jim Harbaugh basically talks about the starting quarterback as being like God and he's in awe of him, I think he's safe. We know that, and he's special. So they're going to formulate everything around him. But, yeah, this is not common. I mean, this is not like breaking news. This is fairly common. Wait, coach that takes over, new team, looks to go, how can I change this team? How can I trim the fat? Wait, who are older players that are making like significant amounts of money where we don't know if they really have that capability or that, top end style of football in their game anymore? And that's where they look at it. And, yeah, Khalil Mack, double-digit years. Yeah, last year was great, but the years before that, not so great. We hit it. Bosa, injury. Allen, Keenan Allen, what are we going? Year 11, 12? I'm somewhere in the range there. So those are the guys that, yeah, usually a new regime looks at to go, wait, let's get some new guys in here, and let's start formulating a culture here that makes sense for what we want and build it from there and have some money to play with. But yeah, I mean, dead money and stuff like that's going to be a part of the conversation here, and I'll be interested to see what the trade market is for some of these guys.
The big key is they got to clear cap space for 2024 because they are more
Still
than $20
over,
million
right?
over.
Right.
They are the worst team. They're in the worst position right now as it relates to the cap heading into Wednesday. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.